Hello, anyone. My name is Christopher Wood. I'm just on here for a few minutes doing this. My name is Christopher Wood. I am 52 years old, and I am a 5-year revenge retaliation victim of Lennox and Addington, Ontario Provincial Police, Lennox and Addington County General Hospital doctors, mental health workers, 3 mental health workers, Napanee and Kingston AMHS, and the Justice of the Peace, and their accomplices for revenge retaliation for me speaking of their human trafficking, homeless exploitation for monetary gain, possible money laundering, and other crimes that were taking place in Napanee out of the Morning Star mission. Back in August of 2019, I was shot at a previous address by O.p.p chief or commander, year 2019, August, white Jeep Wrangler, corner of Bridge and Center Street. It wasn't with a bullet, it was with something that went into my right ear. Him and somebody in a black truck, they pulled up at the lights. He waved at me. When I waved back, a black truck pulled up beside him. They pointed something, they shot it, and it went into my right ear. After that, I started to have a lot of problems. Spencer Mills showing up at my place with threats and intimidations. Spencer Mills 14716 with threats and intimidation, basically to let me know that if I did not stop talking about what was taking place, there would be serious consequences. And he was 100% right. Stalking, lies, cover ups, kidnapping, sex assaults, body mutilations, skull deforming, brain injuring, medical blacklisting, file falsifications for discrimination and treatment refusals, being falsely arrested twice for crimes that are taking place on me, arrest refusals, surrounded hands on guns, extortion, kidnapping, blood and piss stealing, or forcing through threats and duress, the lies, the time buying, the cover ups, damage is done. I have absolutely no feeling in my head. I have absolutely no feeling on the right side of my complete and total. My skull's been completely split, and I have absolutely no feeling on this side of my head whatsoever. It feels like I'm getting air going through it right now. I have a tube that I never had before. How it got into me, I do not know, but I have shown it and proven it. It goes from my groin to my right nipple, from my right nipple up to my throat where it bulges out. It's not doing it right now, but I've shown it and proven it. It bulges out and then it goes up to the back of my neck, up to the back of my head. And ever since I was shot with whatever I was shot with, I have had a spot on the back of my head. From that tube, I get piss and shit going through it. I get it going through my head, my face. When I eat, my food goes to the right side of my body, not my left. I am being completely and totally mutilated, decayed. I am medically blacklisted. There is not a damn thing I can do about it. My medical rights, my legal rights, my human rights have been taken from me. Ontario Provincial Police that are guilty of murder and attempted murder, including having my mother stalked and killed December 20th, 2020, and 2 of my dogs. Once again, XOPP Chief or Commander, year 2019, drove a white Jeep Wrangler. He's guilty of attempted murder with intent to commit. He is a sex slave trafficker and a pedophile. Staff Sergeants, years 2019, 2021, kidnapping, sodomy, sex assault. with one of their accomplices. Shannon Cork, Robert Lucas, Dave Weiss, Constable Ward, Shelley Hafner, Stacy, a mental health worker that was Napanee Daily Tea Company, now Kingston AMHS, Spencer Mills 14716, and Robert Kane, Drug Cop 7224. Lennox and Addington County General Hospital, who are criminally negligent, involved in co-committing and having me medically blacklisted, discriminated against, and falsely charged to cover up crimes against themselves and to prevent me any help and to assure all crimes against me. File falsifier, the one that assured this, and girlfriend to Stacy. Dr. Margie V, she goes by, and also Dr. Tatiana V. Her real name is Dr. Tatiana Vukadinovic. File falsification and girlfriend to Stacy Kingston AMHS, who was actually at the hospital when I went to get a CAT scan done in November of 2019, and I was medically blacklisted and treated like a piece of shit after that. And she was there saying she was allegedly there for me. 100% bullshit lie. Dr. Joy Hadley, Dr. Barton, Dr. Waldron, Dr. Pritchard, Dr. McGregor are all guilty of criminally negligent, involved in co-committing and covering up their crimes and preventing me help with my identity theft that I have been through. 100% proof. Their accomplices, who are guilty of murders, attempted murders, stalking, torture crimes, and getting free drugs and immunity with and for O.p.p. A guy known as Bill Waldridge. He has many alias names. I don't usually give addresses, but I'm gonna. He lives on the corner of Bridge and Center Street in Napanee. He is approximately 70 years old. I have my computer hacked, and he is the one that has hacked it, and I have proof that it's my computer is hacked from his address. He has many alias names. He goes by, well, he lives behind Cowell Law Office on Bridge and Center Street. He is approximately 70 years old. He has many alias names: Bill Waldridge, Bill Coolidge, Bill Delarosable, Stephen Mavis, James Bubbles, and Robert Cross are some of his alias names. He is guilty of criminally stalking my mother. He thinks that he and I were switched at birth. He thinks that he is my dad, and he was calling my mother mom, and he is guilty of causing her death December 20th, 2020, with intent. Blair Hardy Kane, he is a meth trafficker, highly obsessed, homosexual. He is guilty of rapes. He is guilty of identity theft, financial thefts and frauds, welfare, disability, identity, pension, insurance frauds. He is guilty of rapes and multiple murders. He is also allegedly an Ontario provincial police constable detective, and I'm going to show his picture here shortly. There is Robert Barry and his boyfriend Robert. He is sex slave traffickers, sex offenders. They're guilty of torture crimes on me. Robert Barry is a truck driver and a possible serial killer. His boyfriend allegedly has AIDS. He is committing sex assaults and spreading his disease around. There is Bert Hustler. He is highly obsessed with me. He is a homosexual. He is a sex slave trafficker. He's guilty of brain injuring me. He's guilty of skull deforming me. He is guilty of stalking. And he is guilty of attempted murder with intent to commit. He actually used to be jealous of the long hair that I had. He's very seriously disturbed. Jason Gimpy Two-Step Van Alstyne. He is a fentanyl dealer, sells laced fentanyl between Napanee and Kingston. He is guilty of a possible murder in 2021. He is guilty of criminal stalking and torture crimes on me for the past 5 years. He is guilty of attempted murder with the intent to commit disability, insurance, and identity theft and fraud. He is a stroke victim, but he is still very seriously dangerous, and he is an inbred motherfucking crackhead, low-life piece of shit, and I now look a lot like him. I have no relation in any way, shape, or form to the fucking dude. Tyler T. Bag Lake. He is guilty of torturing and killing my dog Runt, March 24th, 2023. He is guilty of death threats against me. He is guilty of attempted arson on a previous address. He is guilty of throwing blood on a previous address. He is a Robert Kane #1 rat informant, drug-fed, money-paid, low-life piece of shit. He is guilty of torturing and killing my dog as well. Raymond LeBlanc, who is also guilty of killing my dog and torturing him with Tyler Lake. He is a criminal stalker. He is a child groomer. He is guilty of torture crimes on me. And he's guilty of attempted murder. Harry Hartwig, Dale Hartwig, and Tony Anthony Axel Rose Hearns are all guilty of attempted murder, torture crimes, attempted paralyzing me, skull splitting me, brain injuring me, sex assaults, and being involved with my identity theft. I also have pictures and videos where I look a lot like these asshole pieces of shit garbage too, and they are also my cousins. They are all O.p.p. accomplices. They are drug-fed, money-paid sex offenders, registered sex offenders, ex-inmates, crackheads, crack dealers, meth heads, meth dealers, speedheads, morphine, and fentanyl are all being fucking sold and done by these pieces of shit. Right now, as I'm doing this, I have absolutely no feeling in my head once again. So congratulations to the police involved, to the doctors involved, all for revenge retaliation. When people disappear, it's through the police, it's through criminal doctors, it's through their fucking accomplices, it's through blaming their victim, it's through their lies, the time buying, the cover-ups, the extortion, the arrest refusals. You are guilty of ending a fucking bloodline, O.p.p, by doing this to me. And one way or another, whether you are cops or not a threat, you will legally answer for what the fuck you done, even though it's time bought and damage done too fucking late. I'm gonna show just a couple pictures of me first. There's one. Just to show more proof that I've been through these changes. This is me also. This here is me approximately 3-4 months ago. And I look absolutely nothing like that in any way, shape, or form now. This is a picture of that tube in my throat that I was talking about. Here's a picture without it. Some of the mutilations that's been done to me. And there's not been a fucking thing I've been able to do about it. And there it is going up to the back of my head to prove it. I've had serious spinal damage done to me as well. And that no surgeries, that certainly is not normal, especially going up to the back of my head. And it goes right to that spot that I have on the back of my head, which I have shown improvement, which I have had since I was shot. Here's other serious changes. 100% complete physical identity change done to me. So if anybody thinks that this is cannot happen, I am proof that it can, and it has. This is how O.p.p. traffic frame and are murdering people, and they're getting away with it. The pictures on the thumbnail are actually me before all the changes done to me. More true, my original image without my glasses on. I've had serious skull deforming done to me. It's been flattened, it's been rounded, it's been widened, it's been shortened, it's been elongated in every way, shape, and form. This is a picture of me with my long hair. I actually had to shave my head because of my skull being seriously deformed and me going through this and being called a delusional, hallucinating fucking liar through doctors, not even seeing any proof. They're just going on a falsified fucking file against me, which I had not been to a hospital or a doctor in approximately 7 to 10 years prior to being shot in August of 2019, and everything beginning on me. There. It shows some pictures of my fucked up skull that's happened to me. I hope you're very seriously proud, O.p.p., what you've done and what Lennox and Addington County General Hospital has done, Kingston Hospital, and Belleville as well, through the falsified medical file fucking assuring this against me for no reason because I spoke up and tried to save lives against fucking corrupt cops. There is O.p.p. There is a reserve cop, a Tynedega possible reserve cop involved. There is Wellington police involved in well as well. Human trafficking, sex trade, slavery trafficking, obviously false arrest, identity thefts to get pictures, prints, and signatures for identity thefts and frauds, framings with wanted harbored inmate sex offender lowlives that they are using to do this to me. Scan that tube in my fucking head. And I get piss and shit going through me once again from it. I have pictures where 1 minute I'll take pictures and my fucking hair is natural color like it's supposed to be blonde, and then 2 minutes later I'll take pictures and my fucking hair will be red. Here's a picture of the back of my skull at one time, and it actually looks like fingers coming up through my head. It looks like a hand and fingers coming up through the back of my head. That is seriously fucked up. So let this be a lesson. People don't ever go to O.p.p. Do not ever speak their crimes. Your family, you, and your bloodline will be taken care of, and they will get away with it, and there'll be nothing anybody can do about it. My medical rights, my legal rights, my human rights have been taken. I've been trying to get fucking help with proof for 6 damn years since it started on me. This looks like my skull's been cut. I've not had any surgeries either. This all started to happen to me once again after I was shot by the ex chief. And this is why I show the tattoo on my hand. The only difference now is I have a tree with my name. This. Congratulations, you pieces of shit. These bastards actually tortured my mother too before she was killed. I have a picture of her, of my mother, where the top part of her skull is pulled up. It looks like a fucking donut inside her head with a hole. This is another identity change done to me. Difference. So when people disappear, families are murdered and missing, I would definitely check Ontario provincial police because they're 100% involved in these crimes. Whether these cops are at Napanee, whether they have transferred to avoid arrest charging and lawsuits against themselves and anybody else, because it doesn't matter. I haven't been able to do fuck all anyway. My rights have been taken from me. They have no laws. They are above all laws. And so are the fucking doctors here, and they've proven also what they will do to commit crimes and get away with it, especially on poor, elderly, disabled, and homeless. Here's some very different serious changes I've been through. And these are all 100% real. Picture of my skull completely and totally flattened. And there's not been a damn thing I've been able to do about this medically. Here it is blowing up like a fucking balloon. I was told, I went to the hospital that day and I was told, take my hat off, put it back on, it fits, I'm fine. And I was told this by a Dr. Fardell. This has been done to me. Ones that are guilty and involved in doing this to me with and for O.p.p. They're human traffickers, they're sex slave traffickers, and the ones that are guilty of murders and attempted murders. My full physical identity theft, I'll be disappearing soon as one of these bastards, and I say that without paranoia. The damage is done. My full fucking skull's been split. No medical help, and there's not a damn thing I can do about it. This guy here, his name is Harry Hartwick. He is approximately 85 years old. He is my cousin. He is a child groomer. He is a child abuser. He is guilty of being involved with my identity theft. He is guilty of torture crimes on me when I was a kid in Winnipeg, Manitoba. Because I would not eat a pickled onion, this piece of shit actually stripped my clothes off of me naked, put duct tape on my testicles, and made me stand in a corner for 4 hours because I wouldn't eat a pickled onion, and then proceeded to beat the shit out of my mother and my older brother at the time. He's very seriously sadistic. Whether he is 85 years old or not, he is still very dangerous. And he's involved with this. And once again, I have shown and proven how it's being done to me. This is Tyler Lake. He is Robert Kane, drug cop #1, rat informant, little piece of shit, crackhead, meth head, fall down motherfucker. He is approximately 35 years old, and he is the one that tortured and killed my dog, and he is guilty of attempted murder on me and being involved with this. I also have pictures where I look a lot like him. This is the fentanyl czar of Napanee and Kingston, Jason Kempe, two-step Vinalstein. He's a stroke victim, but he sells laced fentanyl. He is a crackhead, and he is guilty of a possible homicide in 2021. He is guilty of 5 years stalking on me. He is guilty of torture crimes, skull splitting me, and he is guilty of attempted murder with intent to commit identity disability and insurance fraud. Once again, I also have pictures where I look exactly like this lowlife, and I am older and no relation to him. Alleged O.p.p. Constable Detective Blair Hardy Kane. He is a meth trafficker. He is guilty of rapes, financial thefts and frauds, welfare, disability, pension, and old age. He is guilty of stalking and being involved with my mother's death with the one known as Bill Wooldridge. He's guilty of identity theft on me. He is an obsessed homosexual. He's guilty of attempted murder on me. He's guilty of murder on my mother. And he is highly untouchable and unarrestable in Napanee and very seriously dangerous. He has no laws above him. This is a guy known as Bill Wooldridge that lives at 149 Center Street North. He also stalked children for the ex-O.p.p. chief or commander for sex slavery trafficking. He is now bald, glasses, the one with all the alias names, and the one lives where my computer is hacked from, and I live in a different city. And I can and have already shown and proven it that my computer is hacked from this lowlife's fucking address in Napanee. He is now bald, glasses, approximately 70 years old. He was the one that thinks that he and I were switched at birth, thinks that he is my dad and was calling my mother mom. There's Tyler Lake again. Robert Kane, rat informant, meth-fed piece of shit that's guilty of murder and attempted murder and killing my dog as well. I don't know if any of this is going to be seen or not, but I hope so, and I hope it's shared. This is Tony Anthony Axel Rose Hearns. He is guilty of skull splitting me. He is guilty of brain injuring me. He is guilty of attempted sex assault. He is guilty of attempted paralyzing me. He is guilty of attempted murder with intent to commit. I also have pictures where I look exactly like him, including the red hair and the same cockeye that he has. He is also guilty of blinding me in my right eye as well. This is Dale Hartwick. He is guilty of body mutilations. He is guilty of skull splitting me, brain injuring me. He is guilty of being involved with my identity theft and attempted murder with intent to commit for drop charges for a stabbing he committed against his wife or ex-wife's boyfriend. I gotta plug it in. Damn it. Okay, here's a picture of Blair Hardy and the one known as Bill Woldridge. Other picture that has the alias names. And he also goes by Stephen Mavis too, which is the name of a wanted inmate harbored sex offender that O.p.p are hiding, if it's the same person. These are O.p.p untouchables, the ones that they have surrounded me, hands on guns, to prevent anything legal on them or anyone else, threatening I am paying for their crimes against me because they're O.p.p accomplices. This is child groomer, criminal stalker, and he is guilty of attempted murder on me and also guilty of being involved with the torturing death of my dog run with Tyler Lake as well. This is Raymond LeBlanc. He used to live in Brampton, Ontario, and he allegedly got chased out of that city for being a pedophile. He is a meth trafficker. Once again, here's another picture of the one known as Bill Woldridge and the one known as Blair Hardy, the one in the hat, the one I'm going through identity theft from, and O.p.p cop alleged, which would make him the brother or son to Ontario Provincial Police drug cop Robert Kane, 7224. This is Bert Hustler. He is guilty of identity theft. He is highly obsessed. He was actually jealous of the hair I used to have. He is an obsessed homosexual. He is an ex-psych ward patient. He is a sex slave trafficker, a sex offender. He is guilty of a possible sodomy sex assault on a child recently. He is guilty of torture crimes on me. He is guilty of being involved with my identity theft. He is a meth head, a crack head, and a morphine head. He is highly psychotic. He is in a permanent psychosis, and he is very seriously dangerous and disturbed. Bert the Hitman Hustler, Bert the Butt Plug Hustler. He also thinks that he was a hockey player for the NHL Philadelphia Flyers and Hartford Whalers as well. He's very fucked in the head. This is a guy known as Brandon Berry. He's guilty of criminal stalking and torture crimes on me and attempted homicide. He is also allegedly a baby beater as well. Alleged. This is Bert Hustler once again. There's another picture, the one known as Bill Wooldridge, with all the alias names. Here's a picture of my mother where her skull was deformed as she was being tortured, and her skull is actually lifted up, and it looks like a donut in her head. That is not normal. And she was 77 years old, and these bastards still need to pay for what's happened to her for her death. They are the ones that fucking caused it through O.p.p, Spencer Mills, and Stacy Kingston AMHS. They are the ones that put it through his head that me and him were switched at birth and that he is my dad and was stalking my mother. This is a very well-known sex offender. He is very well known to O.p.p, and he is guilty of attempted murder on me as well. There is also another. He is a reserve cop. His name is Chris Brandt. He is a hermaphrodite. He has tubes in his head. And he is also guilty of torture crimes on me. He is guilty of using Stingray on me, hacking my computer, my phone, and he is guilty of attempted murder. I done a video earlier where I looked exactly like this lowlife. My fucking identity, it goes through changes sometimes on an hourly basis, if not more. I've noticed since I started doing this that there's actually been changes to my face. I'm losing more and more of my memories. I'm losing more and more of my consciousness. And the longer this goes on without any help, I am going to be mentally fucking dead. And I am going to be also physically fucking changed more. And I'm going to be framed and I'm going to be screwed and I'm going to be locked up or fucking killed. And I say that without paranoia because of what already has taken place with me and against me by these fuckers, by the cops, by the doctors and their lies that I'm buying in their cover ups, ending a bloodline for fucking homosexual sex offenders because I tried to save lives. That's what NAP and O.p.p are about. So, congratulations, you pieces of shit. One way or another, I'm going to get lawsuits, and I want at least $150 million from Ontario provincial police. At least $150 million. It will not bring back my mother. It will not bring back my identity. It won't bring back the damages done to me, but it will break the fucking drug trafficking and human sex trade trafficking bank that they have, along with Lennox and Annington County General Hospital doctors as well, who are criminally negligent involved and who have been for the past 5 years and who caused this with fucking junkies to save their own asses, to save cops' asses as well. And because I do not have the $22,000, nobody can be arrested. It wouldn't happen anyway because they're accomplices with O.p.p. Napanee is a very seriously dangerous town where there is no laws, except for the ones that are victims of the police, and I have proven it. Once again, there's also the human trafficking, sex trade, slavery trafficking, guilty of torture crimes. There is Wellington Police, O.p.p. There is possibly Tyananega Cop and his brother. and there is Ontario Provincial Police and Kingston Police through Jason Gimpy two-step Vinalstein, where he sells his laced fentanyl at the hub as well, committing homicide, overdose murders to the homeless and addicts. And he is fucking getting away with it. This is another picture of me. I hope somebody sees this, and I hope it's shared because it's very serious. It's important. My identity, my mother's life, somebody still has to answer for that. Killing my dogs and what has been done to me while keeping me from help with 100% proof. Because I spoke up or tried to save lives, it's a revenge retaliation crime, and I am being turned into a fucking vegetable. Okay, I'm gonna get off here. This is going on an hour. I hope somebody sees this and at least shares it. Love all, hate none. I am Christopher Wood. I am 52 years old, and I am soon gonna be dead because I've been too brain injured and I can't get help, and I have been too deformed, and there's nothing I can do about it. So damage is done.